Okay, we're going to start with our Bohr model notes today. So if you haven't gone into Classroom, go back into Classroom, find the 8 homework Bohr model notes, and click on the copy of Bohr model notes that should be up here on your right above the submit button. Those are your copies. So once you click that, you should be able to open up the fill-in notes. We won't be doing Cornell notes for this one. This will be fill-in notes. So as soon as these come up, there we go. You can go ahead, type in your essential question, and then you'll fill in for the Bohr notes today. Okay, and then there's a space that I've left here for your summary as well. So this is what you will turn in for your notes for Bohr model. You won't turn in a Cornell template, okay? All right, so let's get started. And well, actually, I forgot to mention, as you can see, there is something here we'll be doing here, and I'll help you guys with this as when we get to it in the notes, okay? All right, so let's talk about Bohr models. So Bohr was somebody who helped us develop models of atoms, and so we usually use his very much. This is the newest one, and so we use Bohr models a lot here in chemistry, and these will come back for us next semester in bonding. Okay, so our essential question is, what does a Bohr model represent? And so should be able to answer this by the end of these notes. Okay, so Bohr models are used to show arrangement of electrons, and electrons are placed on the first shell first, and then once full, extra electrons are placed in the next shells. And we'll go over a little example at the bottom when we practice later. Okay. All right, the maximum number of electrons on shells is, you're going to have the first one, which is based on the rows here. Okay, so it's based on the rows. The first has 2 electrons, 1 and 2. The second row has 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So as you can see, that this is definitely something that is built off of the periodic table. Okay, and then the third is 8 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so that is the maximum that they can hold. The first shell can only hold 2, the second and third 8. And when you go past 18, which we won't hear in general chemistry, but when you go past 18 in the higher chemistries, they will talk more about the different shells after that. Okay, but here I just want you to learn up to 18. Okay, so you might hear 18 or even higher, so that's left for, we'll leave that one for AP chemistry. Okay. All right, so a couple tips about the periodic table when using it to do Bohr models. Periodic table can help you quickly complete the Bohr model. The number of periods or rows shows you the number of shells. So if it's the first row, it's 1 shell, second row, 2 shells, third row, 3 shells. And I'll show you an example in a minute. And then the number of groups or columns shows you the number of electrons in the outer shell. Okay, so let's look at a couple of practice. We're going to look at phosphorus, which is number 15 on our periodic table. If you're looking at our periodic table, you can see that it's right here. Okay, and if you're looking at yours in your notebook, okay, you will see, as we talked about, it has a symbol of P, atomic number of 15, and a mass of 31. And as we've talked about, the atomic number is the number of protons, which is 15. Neutrons is mass minus number, which is 16. And electrons also equals the atomic number, which is 15. So when we're done, we should have a total of 15. Also, please notice that if you're looking at the periodic table of phosphorus, it's in the 3rd row. So it's in the 3rd row. So it will have 3 shells, okay? So phosphorus has 3 shells, and you'll see this on your notes right now, this figure, and we're going to fill it in, okay? And so then we need to start filling it. Well, the first one, remember, You have to go through the first one. It's like reading a book. And you're going to read from the top of the periodic table. Okay. You're going to read from the top of the periodic table here. And you're going to read left to right. And then go to the next line, left to right. And the next line, left to right. It's just like how we read. And we start at the top and we go down. Okay. So phosphorus is right here. It's number 15. Okay. And so we always start at the top when we do Bohr models. Well, with a lot of things, we always start at the top of the periodic table. Okay. So the first one, if we go through it, has 1, 2. We have not reached phosphorus yet, so we keep counting. So now we're going to go to the second, and we count all the way across. And if you count all the way across, 1, you'll get 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we'll put 8 in that second row. I'll show you how to do this in your notes in a minute. And then if we go to the third row, we're just going to count till we get to phosphorus. And if you count till you get to phosphorus, you'll count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and why is my fifth one not showing up? 5. There he is. 5. Got him. Okay. And then also in the middle, we put the symbol P. 15 protons, 16 neutrons, and 15 electrons is what we put in the center. All right, so let's look how we do this on our notes, since we have to do it in digitally, okay? So I'm just going to move this over so that we can get all of this into our window here. Okay, so you have your figure here, okay? I have set it so that you can insert stuff over it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fix it, and if it's not here, it should be set on yours that it's fixed, okay? And I will do image options. I'll make sure that it looks well, because we want to be able to insert stuff over the top of it. So we will set it to that wrap text. So just give me a second while I do that. Okay. All right, so that should be set. Okay. So now we should be able to put in some, we're going to try to do some dots. Okay. So insert, and I see that you guys cannot see that, but sometimes you can see the menu, sometimes you can't. But we're going to insert, and we can't do it in there, sorry. You have to click out of the picture, but we're going to say insert, and we should be able to insert a drawing. So we're going to go new. Actually, sorry, there's an easier way that I'm just thinking of how to do this. So if you click on the image, you should be able to edit it. Okay. My computer is really slow today. I'm not sure why. Hold on. Okay, so this may take a little bit of time, and that's why we're doing notes at home. But I wanted to kind of show you how you guys could add the dots into your notes, okay? So you notice I have a couple dots here, and I'll show you how I made those. So if you go to Insert and Drawing and choose New, okay? So you will get another window that kind of pops up for you, okay? And it's how you can make a drawing. It may take a minute. It's going a little faster than it was before. But we're going to wait for a second while this kind of gets going. Okay, so now we have it up. So you can see there's a little shape button here, and you can click on that, and it says shapes. Hover over that or click on it, and you'll have a whole menu of shapes. So we're going to choose our circle. Okay, so choose the circle, and then you'll have this little crossbar show up. Then you'll click anywhere you want. Click, hold, and then you're going to make just a circle, just like this. And when you get that circle, you're going to let go, of the left click button. Then you're going to select it, click on it, and now we can change it whatever color you want. So you can choose the fill color. I'll do red. You guys can do whichever color you see fit. Okay? So once you have your circle, then you have this, and you'll press save and close. And it will actually show up onto your sheet in just a second, and then I'll show you how to format them. Okay? So you notice my circle has shown up here. So I'll click on it. Okay. Now I can either go back and edit it, or I can change my options. So that's what I'm going to choose to do. I'm going to change my options so I can put it over the top of my image here. So you're going to click on the 3 little dots and click all image options. And what you will have is, if I can get it to come over and do this for me, you're going to have this menu. Looks like image options show up. Okay, so I'm going to click on this, and you should see, I'm hoping, yes, there we go. So now I've got one of my dots clicked, and you can see I've got all these things. So you're going to want to open text wrapping, and you want to click wrap text. So you want it to set so that we can put it over the top of something. And once you have that set, you can go ahead and come back to where your dot is. Okay, so you're going to come back to where your dot is. You're not worried about those anymore. And you see this little menu pop up. So you're going to click here to put it on fixed position on page. Okay, and then the margin should be set at 0. Okay, and then you can go ahead and you can click out. I'm going to click out of the image options. Okay, now you've set that this can go on top. Now, the one thing you're going to need to know, and it makes it a little quicker, is that you actually need 15 dots. So I'm going to take my little guy here, and I'm going to actually move him over here for now, because now I have three, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Control Copy or right click Copy, okay, whichever one works for you. Then click somewhere else, okay, and press Control V, which is paste, and I'll have one shot, or do right click paste, okay, and I'll have another one. So I will actually make a collection of 15 of them over here on the side before I move them. But when you copy them, all the image options go with it. So you don't have to change any of the options. You just have to make sure you change it on the first one. Okay. Once you have all your little dots in a row, I guess 15 of them, I won't show you, but you'll make a copy of 15. Take each dot and place it on your Bohr model where you would like it. So if you remember, we have 2 in the center, okay? So you can see my computer's really slow today. And then I'll take my second one and I'll move it over. And now I have 2 in the first ring, okay? And it'll pop up again. And then, of course, I would have 8 more. And I would move 8 onto my second ring, okay, and then the 5 on the outer ring, okay. So if your computer's faster than mine, great, then you guys will do this fast. So you should have on your notes 2 in the center, just like I did on the notes on the PowerPoint, 2 in the center, 8 on the second, and then 5 on the outside. So that may take you a little bit to go ahead and do. The last thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to finish your summary, which is there at the bottom, okay? So you want to make sure that you've gone through your notes and highlighted any important parts, and then add any questions you might have for me, and then write a 3 to 5 sentence summary at the end, okay? So that is our Bohr model notes. And if you have any questions, please let me know.